Hi everyone and welcome back to a new YouTube video. As you can see, this is a little bit of a different setting, and that's because we have moved last weekend actually to our new house, and I'm actually super happy with how it turned out. It's not done yet, but yeah, most of the work is officially over. And I'm so thankful for that because I was so freaking tired, oh my god. Now for today's video, I am going to take you through my glutes activation routine because glutes activation is actually so important. I think it's one of the most overlooked things when it comes to training your glutes, because a lot of girls, they train heavy, they do heavy hip thrusts, they do heavy squats, they do heavy lunges, but still though, they don't really see the results they want to see, or they don't really feel the glutes properly working. And that's because you might maybe change your glute activation routine, or maybe if you haven't even done this ever before, then please listen to me. This routine right now, which I'm gonna show you guys today, please add this prior to your compound list, and I promise you it will make such a big difference in how you will feel your glutes during your actual workout. And for those of you who don't even know what glutes activation is, maybe you have heard from it, you've seen this coming by on YouTube, on social media, whatever, but you don't really know what it is for and what the benefits are. Well, actually, you can see it as a warm-up, as a wake-up call to your glutes. So the goal is to fatigue your glute muscles prior to your main workout with isolation exercises. Now, aside from the fact that warming up your muscles prior to your main workout is essential actually for every muscle group you train to reduce the risk of getting injuries, the main benefit with adding a glutes activation routine prior to your compound list is because it will result in a better mind-muscle connection. And if you don't know, mind-muscle connection is it's the most important thing during your entire workout. If you don't feel the muscles you want to work on, for example, it's a complete stupid example, but it's just to give you guys a better perspective. If you're doing hip thrust but you feel it in your shoulders, which is definitely not possible, it's an example, then you're doing something wrong, you know? So, and that is what a glutes activation is meant for. Now lastly, before we get into the mini workout, I would like to add that your activation routine doesn't need to exist of heavy weights. You can simply go for body weight exercises, but make sure to always go for isolation exercises. Now, to give you guys a little bit of an example, I will take you through one of my actual glutes activation routines, which I do every time prior to my main glutes workout. And all I can tell you, it works wonders.
I am starting my glutes activation routine with high knees into an explosive kickback. Now focus number 1 is balance for this movement. As you can see, to make it myself easier, I'm using hand support to keep a stable position. Focus number 2 is to engage your core through the entire movement, especially when bringing the knee up. Pay attention to the leg I'm standing on and make sure to keep a slight bend and don't overstretch. When going into a kickback, try to keep your lower back as straight as possible and don't overextend. Key focus here is to contract the glutes at the top of the move for 1 second and prevent momentum. You really don't want to swing your leg around. Now, once again, for this leg, don't overstretch and keep a slight bend. Repeat for 15 times each side. Then we will go straight into resistance band lateral walks. If you don't have a resistance band, simply do the exact same movement body weight. The biggest tip I can give you with this exercise is to not bend your knees too much. In contrast to what I see in a lot of training videos on Instagram, the bigger the bend in your knees, the more focus will go to your quadriceps instead of your glutes, which is something we don't want, right? I know I'm always talking about going for a big range of motion, but this definitely doesn't apply to this exercise. So slight bend through your knees, push your chest forward and your glutes backwards and keep a straight back. Repeat for 40 steps in total. Our third exercise is a combination of Sumo good morning and a Sumo squat. So stand in a Sumo position, meaning your feet position is wider than shoulder width. Keep a slight bend in your knees and hinge forward from your hips, not your waist, please, while keeping a flat back also. You actually want to push your glutes as far backwards as possible without bending any further through your knees. Now, in contrast to a regular good morning, we will go straight into a squat position. Pay attention to my depth because I'm limiting once again my range of motion here. Key focus during this exercise is to push your knees outwards and don't overextend your knees at the top of the movement. Repeat for 15 reps in total. Moving on to our second last exercise, Sidekick pulses, which is actually a super simple exercise to execute. Put a resistance band slightly above your ankles and go stand in a straight position. Similar to our first exercise, you want to find a good balance and therefore use some extra hand support. Instead of pushing your leg backwards, push it more sidewards. This way we activate our gluteus medius and minimus. As the name can tell, pulses, you keep a very short range of motion but constant tension is key focus here. Repeat for 25 times each side. Our last exercise is called kneeling leg crossover. Firstly, in case you don't have a yoga mat like I do, simply take a pillow to put underneath your knees. Then go down on your knees, they should be positioned to hip width. Then put your hands on the floor, again positioned shoulder width. Before you get started, keep a flat back and your neck neutral. It's recommended to look down at the floor. Extend your leg with your toes pointing downwards and cross over to the other side of your body while keeping your upper body stable and try to touch the floor with your toes as well. Repeat for 15 times each side.
So that was basically it. As you can see, it's a super simple glutes activation routine, but as I said, it works really well. And yeah, in fact, you don't really need any equipment or maybe just a resistance band. But if you don't have a resistance band, it's perfectly fine. You can for sure do the exercises just body weight. It will definitely work as well. So right now I'm quite hungry actually, and I'm gonna prepare one of my favorites, high protein, low carb pancakes. Is the most simple recipe ever, but I'm gonna show you anyway. Now, as I've said, this pancake recipe is the most simple recipe you will ever see. The only ingredients you need is 1 scoop of whey protein, and I use the Oxy Whey in the flavor vanilla ice cream by EHP Labs. I do have a discount code, so if you are interested in trying one of EHP Labs products. I will put the discount code right here and also put the direct link in the description box down below if you want to check out. By the way, they have also just launched their UK website and they are offering for a limited time free shipping. So European people, if you're watching but you're not sure whether to order yes or not because of the shipping costs and maybe potential taxes you need to pay, this is your time to try it out because free shipping. Then also you need a tiny bit of milk, like just a tiny bit. Usually I use unsweetened almond milk, but since we have moved, I haven't really done any big grocery shopping. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it with regular milk, and then 1 egg. And then this is optional, but I think it really adds a nice flavor to your pancake, and this is cinnamon sugar. I just add a tiny bit, like maybe half a tablespoon, and yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna show you how to prepare it. Like okay, you don't need to be Gordon Ramsay to make this pancake stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna prepare it and then show you the end results. Alright, so this is the end result. As you can see, it looks super yummy. I've added a tiny bit of rice syrup, but you could also use some maple syrup or honey or nothing if you don't have it sweet too. Okay, so I'm gonna eat this right now. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you next time. Bye!